Hi guys, Pictures Railway videos here. In today's video then I'm going to be going to Spurn Head to discover all the lost railways there. So with that said and done, then well, I hope you enjoy. So I've arrived at Spurn. Now if I see any remnants of the railway then I'll keep you updated. Right now I'm just at Kilnsea. So about a mile and a half in, then look what we found. Rails embedded in the concrete. This is actually much more conclusive evidence than there was on the Light Railway, which I also explored the old track bit of. So it seems that the railway went from over there, which obviously is now a lot higher, to just over there. And well, these rails really are interesting. I don't know, I'd say they're roughly about 10 metres, 15 metres maybe long, and well, just interesting. Instead of looking like normal rails, they actually look more like tramway rails because it's in the concrete, because they have this little groove in them just there. So alright then, now I'll move on to the next bit. So now we come up to the next set of rails. This is about 0.6 kilometres, so thirds of a mile from the last set. This one's definitely shorter. You can definitely tell that the land's shifted because the rails look like they would have gone that away. And obviously, well, they can't go that away now because there's a giant dip there. So that's proof of land shifting if I've ever seen it. But at any rate then, so once again these rails look a lot like tram lines. This time then there's definitely foliage growing in between the rails. You know, it's not as much as the authorities trying to clear up history as it was with the Abbey Light. It's more nature trying to reclaim the area, which I say it's done quite well, because the tarmac road over there is actually just sand. So now hopefully we'll be able to move on to the next spectacle. Hopefully it'll be a bit more of a spectacle. So further on in the walk then I've come across this, which seems to be some sort of ship's boiler. I know it's probably nothing to do with the railway, but I mean, it's still interesting. There's also this long line of stuff, and this, whatever it is. So yeah, just thought I'd mention this because, you know, it is genuinely interesting. So further down from the lighthouse now, it's just over there. Then I spotted some more rails. Here they are, embedded in the past. Like I said for the last set, then Mother Nature is very clearly deciding that it doesn't really like these rails. It's covering them up with weeds and the like, as well as sand. An awful lot of sand. So, alright then, I don't really have much to say than I have already, other than, did they put concrete in the tramway bit of the rails? Did they put concrete in them? Surely that must have been done after the railway was taken up. Who would do that once the railway was still in operation after all? At any rate then, yeah, this is about 5 metres, 6 metres I'd say. And well, quick side note, core blimey, look at this lighthouse. You have to admit it's impressive in this weather, don't you? I can hear you all saying, oh, not another shot of the lighthouse, we came here for the railways. Well, here you go. It's yet another set of rails embedded. This time, for the first time, we're getting posh, because not only are we on a curve this time, we've also got points. But how can you tell, I hear you asking? Well, I don't, but still. Here, I spy a frog. Look at this. We're seriously getting somewhere now. Just wow. You know, there's nothing I can say that I haven't said already, but you know, just look at that. You can really tell that the land has shifted, can't you? It quite literally goes from one hill to another. You don't usually see hills in railways. So why am I filming Fire Assembly Point? Well, this is why. Because the old engine sheds used to... and now a fire assembly point. You can actually still see the rails, which, you know, is nothing new by now, but you can tell there's been a set of points just there. These are the two tracks coming off it. So Spurn, as some of you may know, had a few engines. One of them was a railboat, which is where Skiff and Thomas and Friends comes from. So this, there was probably a rail under here. In fact, that was definitely. But then you can see 3 rails here. Obviously this one would have been in conjunction with that one. And these two will leg off here, over here, underneath this foliage, and to what is wonderfully signed for us over here, with the smallest and least significant sign you could ever see, ooh, that's by my rail, is the engine shed. So they provide us a wonderful picture covered with bird poo of a carriage, a little scanner thing just there, and 1 sentence worth of information about the railway. So anyway, apparently this is the 4 stations. Oh, sorry, no, it's foundations, stupid bird poo. See what I mean? This is the 4 stations of the First World War railway engine shed. I give up. Where the engine and carriage with standard gauge railway was housed. So, they had, in case you didn't know, as well as the railboats, they also had the only engine that's preserved from here is Lord Mayor, which I have seen and been in the cab of. Is now housed at the Keithingworth Valley Railway at Ingrove West. At any rate, so if you want to see some more of the railway's heritage, then go there. So, anyway, this is the old engine shed. I believe that this is the last of the rails, but you can never be sure, so let's find out. Not totally sure whether these were related to the railway or not, just thought it was worth showing them. If anyone knows what they are, say in the comments. Sadly, there are no more rails, however there is a lot of old military things. And in case you didn't know, the whole reason the Spurn Head Railway was built in 1914 was to serve all the military items in World War I. So now, the rest of the video is going to be me exploring the old military bases. This is one of them. So I'll quickly come down here and down these steps, and look what we have here. It's a military bunker, and it's very, very, very echoey. So if you found my voice annoying before, then just turn off the sound, but still watch the video. So in here then there's this wonderful sign about the fire command room. Pause that and read that if you want. And there's also a sign about women at Spurn Point. Read that and pause if you will. At any rate, there are more military bunkers, so just, well, we'll get on with the video, eh? This was where the searchlights for World War II were kept. So the searchlights would have just been in this little circular area here. Then they would have pointed up into the sky, so the bombers could do their bombing. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. So this is where the anti-aircraft gun would have been positioned. It would have been put probably just bolted to here, and that would be where the gun is, and there would be a couple of people pushing it round the outside on these rails. So it's actually a ginormous concrete battlement, you can see just here, just around here. So you can't really catch the sheer magnitude of this complex just from this shot alone, but hopefully it should give you some sort of idea. This is the same area but from down below. Sorry if my voice is a bit echoey. Anyway, it seems that these may have been toilets. What could be more fascinating than toilets, eh? Yeah, I'd like to see. This is the gun placements from down below. As you may be able to tell, then the rails are much more defined up here. You can definitely see them there. Seems to be a rusty old iron shutter. So this is apparently the old parade ground where all the people would get shouted at for not wearing the correct uniform, a bit like the assembly hall at school. This seems to have been the Ariguani's house. No idea what an Ariguani is, but I mean, that's what it says just there. This appears to be the area of the old 9.2 inch guns. Apparently they were put in during the First World War. So anyway, it seems that they went around here, and then I expect they'd have probably continued. I mean, I can't get through this, and for those who don't know, gorse bushes are very prickly. Here's the old gun storage area. Hopefully there's a sign inside telling us everything about, well, not everything about it, but something about the Humber defences. If you're really interested in them, just pause the video right now. I'm extremely near the end of my trip now, but there's one more thing I thought was worth noting. So, we're just on this path here that goes from the Spurn Discovery Centre, which is just over there, to the beach. And then I noticed that the path was held up with what looks to be old railway sleepers. This is worth noting because, you know, even if it isn't an old platform, you know, it's still the old sleepers from the railway and stuff. Like, that's especially noticeable just here. This piece of wood is exactly the same length and width and everything as a sleeper, so yep, just thought that was worth mentioning. Even later on in the walk, now I'm almost back where I started, but I just thought it might be worth mentioning, this little area of path here looks an awful lot like an old embankment, if you can see just here. So I'm left to wonder, did the Spurn Head Railway go through there, and will I trip up again? I certainly hope not for the tripping up. I think it might have gone through here. So if I look back here, then I don't know, it could have gone through there because that area's flat too. So there was nothing more at Spurn Head, so I went back home. I think I did rather well there. I caught a lot of footage of the old railways there, and well, to finish it off then, I'll just say that my channel has been doing really well lately, so thank you ever so much for that, and well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you soon. Be back with another video. What? You're still here? Why? The video's already finished, can't you tell? Ugh, I guess you want to see something, don't you? Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give you a little peek. The fishing village really isn't doing well, Oliver. There are barely any trucks left. In fact, there's only one. Indeed. Well, I guess that we'll have to see what this entails.